G'day everybody, and welcome to a new series for our channel. This will be a Let's Play series of The Sims 4. What you're currently watching is the speed build of a Victorian style mansion that is or will be owned by Dana and Dane Schiller, and they are a young, starry-eyed couple, newly married, just embarking on their lives together. And their backstory, or the backstory for the reason for the house, is that Dane's uncle, long forgotten, possibly crazy, old uncle, left them a house and a substantial amount of money on the condition that they live in the house. Now the house is located in Forgotten Hollow, which is the new neighbourhood that came with the vampires expansion for The Sims 4. So this took me quite a long time. This is my very first free build with The Sims 4. So I have cut out a lot of the wrestling that I did with roofs because that was a nightmare. And I've just really brought you in for the bits of the build that you'll eventually see in the final building. Now, as you can see, it's quite large. It will have 3 stories. I've tried to make, here we're sort of wrestling with the roofs a bit here. I've had a look at a number of pictures of Victorian houses on the internet, and a lot of them had uneven roofs and, you know, quite eccentric styling to the building itself. And currently, with the little tower at the front, while I'm fiddling with the roofs, believe me, I was wishing that we had round roofs in The Sims. So I've now made it into a nice octagonal shape. Redone that roof because just the 2 flat sides weren't working for me. And again, as you can see, I've tried to keep the 3 peaks at slightly different heights and make it a little bit on the eccentric side. So they're all different widths, they're all different lengths, and they're all different heights. And the one that's on that round tower does, you'll see in a second, it does go as far and as high as the roofs can go in The Sims. So what I tried to do first was create the silhouette of the house and get the roofs and eaves and overhangs, you know, as best I could, while leaving out all the swear words for you guys, because I'm sure you don't want to hear them. There was a lot of them, let me tell you. We've gone for the one vacant block that was in the area, and Dana and Dane, basically, as I said, newlyweds. They're, you know, starry-eyed, just beginning their lives together, and so our Let's Play series is going to first see them moving into the house and having a look at the condition of the house itself, because it's quite run down. It is has a lot of cleaning and a lot of renovations that are needed. It needs a lot of TLC. And as you can see here, I'm still wrestling with roofs. I do get it in the end, or at least I get it to where I'm happy with it, or I can live with it. And we get it to a point where it actually looks like it belongs to the building, which you know, that couldn't make me happier, I can tell you. So it's all starting to come together now. We're working on the balcony at the front. That little bit, the front bit there that I'm currently doing with the railings, is like a pseudo balcony. At a later stage you'll see I put some plants up there so they can't actually walk out on there, because my concern is that they'll get stuck. Because at this point I haven't live tested it, so you guys will get to follow that journey and live test it with me and see if it works. Here I am wrestling with possibly putting another balcony off the side, how that will work. And again, as I said, this is my very first free build. Previously in The Sims 4 I have only used the style windows, or sorry, the styled rooms. So, you know, working out how rooms work and how roofs work with rooms was frustrating to say the least. Interesting, because I think they've done a really good job where if a room is complete, if all of the walls match up correctly, the roof doesn't actually interfere with the inside, which is a big improvement on previous Sims where previous Sims incarnations where you had to delete this bit and work on this bit and leave holes here, and you know, have bits that weren't technically inside because they had a little gap through to the outside. So here I am still wrestling with the roofs, and I've just about got under control. I thought having a couple of dormer windows or a little dormer sort of style would be really cool, but I put them on the wrong floor, and so here I am going back and fixing them up and putting them on the correct floor so that they do fit. And again, the roofs work really well for these. They don't intrude into the inside or the interior at all. I'd obviously made some room errors, so you'll see at some stages I've cut most of it out, but there is a couple of little bits where the room or the roofs do intrude into the rooms, and so I was hoping to have a balcony, but I just couldn't work out how to get these walls to work with the roofs. So I scrapped that idea, moved on, thought I'd make it a bit of a, whoops, don't ignore that bit of wall, and moved on and sort of worked on the rest of it. So I really do like these, you know, where you can just put a single flat roof along. They do work really well. So here I am thinking that this is about the correct, how I want to go, putting the foundations in now. I don't add the pattern to the foundation until much later. This is adding a almost a partially wraparound veranda and combined patio area, so getting rid of the roof there. I didn't want to put too much roofing over it, although having said that, we don't know what Dana and Dane are going to do with their renovations, so there may be more roofs, they may scrap floors, they may extend. Who knows what they're going to do with it, what's there. So now you can see they can't actually get up there, so here we go, putting some stairs up to the front. Again, I haven't dealt with the free placing the stairs, so it was tricky to work out. Got it in the end though. Really liked the brick, that it was the same colour as the tiles on the roof, but I went and changed it a bit later. So here we are moving to the inside and working out some rooms. My initial feeling was for this ground floor to be living space and no bedrooms, and that in a traditional Victorian house you would have receiving rooms and dining rooms and a ballroom, etc. on the ground floor, and all of your living areas would be on the second and third floors. So that was the plan. Here's where I'm working out the staircase, and just in my head I'm trying to work out what is going to be on each floor, and we're trying to work out where we're going to put rooms, what we're going to incorporate as into the rooms themselves, and trying to make it a livable area for a playable sim family, and still, there you go, you can see the roof intruding on the inside and me having a major heart attack and taking everything out again. We get it sorted in the end though. But I still wanted there to be a feeling of spaciousness, so I didn't want it to be too cramped. I don't want bedrooms to just allow them to sort of creep around the sides of beds and things like that. This isn't a tiny house build, this is a mansion, and so we wanted to create a feeling of grandeur and of space and spaciousness and excess. And I think in the end we achieved that. And this is, here I am just checking that none of the roofs are intruding into the rooms. And it seems to be working fairly well. This incidentally is at 5 times speed, so it took me quite some time to get my head around building this and to put it together. Those pillars are bothering me because they weren't evenly spaced, but you'll see later on I do move them again. And here we are going back to the staircase because we changed the rooms around upstairs, the walls, so that we could get rid of that the roof going through the house. So there's our triple wide staircase, again a grand staircase, but still making it in a way that was livable. And I think in the end we decided that it was just one wall of the staircase that was creating or I decided that it was one wall of the staircase. Just changing it from railings to a wall made the roof disappear. So who knows what that was about, but in the end it worked. So here we are allocating rooms, trying to get rid of that last little bit of ceiling or roof inside. I never did get rid of it. We'll just pretend it doesn't exist. And this is now trying to arrange rooms internally. We're trying to go from the second floor up to the third floor. Again, trying to work out a way that is livable, that allows our Sims to move around freely, and that we can create rooms around, so that we don't have to just, you know, tuck things into corners. I think this was a really good solution. The upstairs is basically where we've put a gym, and you'll see in the screenshots at the end that I think it came out quite nicely. So here we are allocating rooms, just deciding what we're going to put where, and what works for, and you see that finally that wall got rid of that extra bit of roof. So now we're probably going to head back down and start decorating, and this is where I start to have a lot of fun, because I really love to decorate the Sims houses, and we're trying to choose now with the external walls something that would be suitable for a Victorian mansion but still, you know, maintain an aesthetic that I'd be happy with. And so we chose white upright slats or planks, so a wood finish, and it goes really nice. It makes a really nice foil for the black iron railings and other black, as you'll see, other black detail that we come up with, and that really lovely grey roof. And here we are changing the veranda come patio come whatever into the black wood. And now we're starting on some of the beautiful Victorian style doors and windows that came with the Vampires pack. Just gorgeous. And again, they're all black, so the white wood walls make a really good foil for it. Plus they add to the realism of when we add the decor items that came with the Vampires, the torn walls and holes and stuff. It really adds to you know, the fact that there are wooden walls inside there and not, you know, concrete or brick or whatever. Excuse me while I take a sip of my tea because my mouth is getting dry from talking. And here I just shoved in some light so I could see what was going on, so I could have an idea of where I was placing things. So I've already chucked a couple of chandeliers in what will eventually be the dining room. I did go with mostly Victorian style wallpapers and tiles and paints, just to keep that feeling of, you know, the Victorian style building. We want this house to be creepy, and is it haunted? Does it have secrets? Are there things going on? Are they going to find things behind doors that they don't expect to see? And that's, you know, what we're basically doing. And here we've got some beautiful doors with they've got beautiful gold handles on them. They look opulent. and we've got the double doors downstairs. We have a bathroom on every floor. That carpet was just way hideous, so as you can see, I very quickly changed it to something darker, but still things in the Victorian era were quite ornate. And in this entrance area I went with, that is a carpet, but it's kind of, it reminded me of, I was going to do the black and white tiles, which is often a feature in entrances of Victorian houses, but this just seemed a little more ornate to me, so that's what I went with. But who knows, Dana, she might not like that revolting, you know, coloured tile. It might not be her taste, so she may in fact want to change it. We will have to see how they renovate. And here I am working on the downstairs bathroom. It's hard to find without having any of the stuff packs. I'm just strictly working with the base game and the Vampires expansion, so you know, I still want to make it look pretty and still make it Victorian. And as you can see, we use the old style toilet, we use the Victorian style basin, we use the gorgeous bathtub with the sheer curtain around it, and added a little bit of detail there with the window, and the mirror, which I'm not sure if you saw, was the one with the bats around it. So we're putting some windows in now. The Sims love light, of course, and I absolutely loved those gorgeous windows, the Victorian style. And in the back I kind of felt we could have like a conservatory, or perhaps you know, somewhere where it looked like maybe a renovation had started and that they had opened it up to have a little bit of light, but hadn't really done anything more than that. So they may fill it with potted plants, they may rip that out, they might put doors in, they might change. So here I am working on the study in the front of the house, and as you can see, the red and black feel of the room really adds to the vampire, what would you say, the vampire air, the heavy Victorian, like they're overly stuffed, overly ornate area. Now, of course, you've got to have a computer. This is the modern age, not, you know, the Victorian era, and we had a little treasure chest there to see. And now we're adding, I just love all these decor items, the cobwebs and things like that. Now, looking for curtains to try and fit the windows without, you know, taking up the whole room, and eventually we find something, and then I'm starting to put in more of the decor items that came with the vampire pack, the cobwebs and, you know, wall cracks and things like that. So yeah, just doing some decorating on the outside here, and I'm sure in the screenshots you will see all of what we've done inside. This is just trying to make the outside look ornate, basically. I know I keep saying that word, but Victorian houses had a lot of detailing. They had a lot of you know, roof spires and ornate carvings on the walls and stuff, and we're trying to make the place look a little bit aged. And it's a little chair on the balcony with some plants, and you will see that I put some hedges in front of the other window just to stop people getting in there, because I'm worried about them getting stuck, just for the time being until I live test it and I can see if they actually do, you know, are able to go out there. A little bit of greenery around the front, but this basically is a property whose garden has not been maintained, so there won't be any gardens, and I'm not sure if Dana or Dane have green thumbs. And you can see in the top there's a gym. You'll get to see all the good bits in the screenshots. Just adding some of the more vampire decor that came with the pack, which I really love, making the house look like it was expensive to build, that it's a craftsman style, and that you know, whoever lived there or whoever built it had an eye to detail and included a lot of detail just simply because it was appropriate, you know, for the style of the house. And I really loved it. I really enjoyed building it. I really enjoyed getting to play with some of the decor items. And here I am not forgetting to put in a letterbox, which is so important, and an outside bin. And that's when I remembered that I didn't put an inside bin. So we stuck one in the corner there. We're putting some stuff out on the veranda or the balcony or patio or whatever you want to call it. 4 chairs, and again, finding a little table for the patio that sort of suited the style wasn't that easy, but we found something in the end. A few lights for the garden, yeah, lampposts no, just some little lights inside the hedges was what we eventually went for. And I think on either end of the little seat out in the garden as well. And well, we put some flowers there as well, and some lights in them, just trying to work out what would be, you know, where would be appropriate. And yeah, it came up really well. This is just a little few finishing details on the patio, just to sort of jazz it up a bit. And yeah, you see I moved that post because the spacing was bothering me. And here's just adding a final few little touches before we go into our screenshots. And yeah, putting the pattern on the foundations, which worked in, you know, really well. It's like that, like I said, they've done a really good job in providing a really wide range of items that you can use for decorating and well, building for first off, and decorating a house in the style that's appropriate. So here they are. Here's Dana and Dane about to go into their house, and here we are into the screenshots. This is the study with a beautiful computer desk. That is the bookcase, and as you can see, wallpaper peeling, cracks in the wall, spider webs. This is the downstairs bathroom with its old style toilet and the beautiful clawfoot bathtub with the sheer curtains. This is the dining room, red and black of course, thrones to suit the king and the queen sitting at the table, lots of spider webs. You can see through into the kitchen where we are now. Kitchen obviously has been modernised, could have potentially been an extension, except for you can see there's extensive damage and cracks. This is in the conservatory area. We've got a chess set and a piano and a seating area and a bit of decoration. And again, this is the upstairs hall. Lots of work, lots of love needed on this house. Little upstairs seating area, and we go into an upstairs lounge area where there's a very modern television and an old-fashioned gramophone and a seating area for our Sims. This is obviously a girl's bedroom, but again, quite extensive damage to the wallpaper and walls. Who knows if Dana and Dane are going to have a little girl to live in that room. This is the upstairs bathroom. Again, the old-fashioned toilet, beautiful clawfoot tub, and terracotta tiling. This is one of the bedrooms upstairs. Beautiful blue and cream with a little corner seating area, but again, it hasn't been looked after. This would be the master bedroom. Again, lots of work needed. Beautiful big double bed and lots of heavy furniture. Through into a secret room, not so secret with the door plain there, but look what's in the secret room, a coffin. Wonder what they'll find in the coffin, if anything. We go up another floor here. There's a bedroom which has clearly been decorated as a boys' room, but again, lots of renovation needed. this is outside in the main area on the very top floor, set up as a gym. You can see doors out there to that balcony, and here we go to the floor plans. This is the ground floor, the first floor, and come on, the top floor of our building. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say. If you have any suggestions for our Let's Play, leave them in the